Anyway, this group is so awesome to go down with. They are such hardworking, fun-loving people. And as Bree said, the vision that Cindy has is amazing, and they are such genuine people, and it just meant so much to us as a group to go down there and see their appreciation, see them come to tears with everything that we did. Our group here at Destiny, they are such a hardworking crew. I just can't believe, well, they ran out of materials because the coordinator didn't think we would get as far as we did, but we did. It was amazing. The thing that especially blessed me was I had 2 of my kids on the trip and 3 grandchildren, so it was amazing, and a son-in-law. So anyway, that was amazing to me to get to work with them and see all the kids work so hard. What did I say? I had 4 grandkids. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness.
You've got some energy.
I'm so sorry. It was Bailey, Griffin, and Wade, and Chelsea, and Autumn went. Autumn's kind of the adopted.
Yeah, we adopted her.
Anyway, I got to tell you just one really quick story. I'm sorry, I really didn't mean to leave anybody. You know I didn't mean to leave you out. Anyway, we all learned, all of us adults learned something really cool while we were in Missouri. And we learned it from Autumn. Do you know if you take earbuds and put them in your nostrils? Oh, it was you. I'm sorry. You take the earbuds and put them in your nostrils and open your mouth. You can hear music coming out of your mouth. It was amazing.
It was so funny. They had this little, I don't know if it's iPod or what the goofy thing is. And they was playing music on it, and she unplugs it out of her ears and sticks it in her nose and opens her mouth, and the words are just coming out of her mouth. Only a kid can think of stuff. That's why it's so neat to take them. Somebody else.
It was hilarious. It was like she was really singing.
This is my first missions trip with Destiny. Excuse me. It's just awesome how God will work through people. Like Derek, I mean, we went out there. He runs that excavator like it's his third hand. I looked at that trench the first time and I thought, there's no way we're going to dig these pipes out of this trench. But he did it, and we did it. But he was the man on the excavator. But, you know, from John Parks singing all the way up, and got the kids all revved up, and Dave and everybody in that van. God bless you, because but you know, it was just an awesome thing. If anybody ever gets a chance to go on a missions trip like that, it'll change your life. I mean, there's no question. You know, their vision out there, you know, going on a mission trip itself gives you a testimony in itself. You know, I came back from there, and I've been working with a lady that I worked with, and I'd never been able to really talk to her. But going on this trip, she asked me what I did that weekend, and I was able to talk to her and tell her. And I mean, she was so touched by that. She couldn't believe somebody travel halfway across the country and go do something like that. So, I guess that's all I have. But it was just neat to see everybody work together. Nobody fought. Nobody, you know, had a foul word to say. Everybody did well together, and I appreciated that. So.
This guy works for Tyson. Any of you that have gone towards 69 see the Tyson Hog Market over by Corona? Well, we're driving down the road, and we get to the intersection where we're supposed to turn right to go to John and Cindy's, and you'll never believe there's a Tyson Hog Market on the corner. So we all got to get the van. We jump out and pile around the sign. You may see it up there. But we took a picture with Tyson Hog Market and all of Destiny's group there, and then Matt sent it to his boss. So, yeah. So how cool. You couldn't have planned that if you wanted to. We thought that was pretty cool. Julie? You ain't right, John. We're holding you last, so you won't be nervous.
I've been on a lot of mission trips, but I never got to take our kids. So that was a huge, huge deal for me. I was going first on this trip for Katie and Chase to go, but it turned out for all of us. I mean, it was definitely a eye-opener experience, and the way that they jumped in the thing, Katie was kind of, Miss Press, we call her, about the porta pot was a shake-up, but she got over it, and we learned a lot from the teens. Actually, I did as an adult, that they did jump in there. They were quite the painters. And when they would get done with one task, they'd say, where can I go next? Or they would ask right away, Tom, which was the overall guide leader, what do you want me to do? And he was just like, I'm not even sure. And I know the first night, we kind of got back to the house and we sat around and he looked at me and he had his little notebook out. And he looked at me and then he looked away. By that time, we were all just like, and he said, hey, do you think your pastor would be mad if I kind of cut your day short tomorrow? Because I don't have anything for you guys to do. I said, yeah, I think he would be. And he was like, really? And I'm like, well, yeah, that's why we came here. We came here to do whatever we can. So if you can get something else, you better do it. Because we got a lot of us to keep going. So he's just like, oh. He's just like, okay, I'll figure something out. But just to see how that all fell to place, like everybody up here has said, was absolutely amazing. Talents of everybody just fell. We need this. I know how to do it. We need an electrician. I know how to do it. You know, lights are going out for 5 minutes. Oh, they were only out for a second, you know. And at night we were so exhausted. You know, everybody was just tired. We got back, fought for showers. And the first night we had a guy named Jordan come and talk to us about a mission he had and a calling on his heart. And we, you know, I know for myself, I was like, how am I going to stay awake for this? Because I was just so struggling and tired. But once he started talking, it was like I couldn't get enough of him. And I look around, and even at the young kids, they were sitting on the floor, and I thought, hold their attention, because they're tired, they're teens, they want to go to bed, they want to listen to their iPod, they want to text. None of that. They were zoomed in on him, they were asking questions, and he grabbed, that was probably the biggest grab to my heart, was Jordan. And he talked about going out to the homeless and coming down to their level, buying homeless clothes, and how it affected him, how people came to him, and a father pulled his kids away from him, said, stay away from him. And that really made me think. It really did. Because there's so many times that I go by Walmart and I'm like, really? Go find a job. Julie had to be thinking about that a little bit. So that really impacts me, and I know it has my kids. So that part of the trip really impacted me a lot. And I'm so thankful that I got to take Chase and Katie on this trip. And they worked. we worked. And we were dirty. And we were gross. But we worked and we liked every bit of it. So I bless all of you.
There's how we worked.
No, we worked. But I do want to thank all of you, because at the end, before we left, we cut them a check from the church. And this really, we all bawled. We all bawled in the kitchen. But they were all standing around, and we all gathered hands and we prayed. And Mike didn't even say anything to us as a group, but everybody just started putting money on the counter in the kitchen. So we had a stack, and it just kept growing. And I went out to Matt, got some cash, brought it in, put it in Matt's like, that's just a because. I was on him. And everybody else would just slip money in there once in a while. By the time it was done, I can't tell you how much money is there. I don't think anybody counted, but it was a stack of money beyond the check that we had already broke out. And they could not speak. They said a prayer, and Mike announced that to them, and he looked at them, and they just sobbed. Well, of course, that was like a recycled roller coaster, because then everybody else in the circle was crying too. But they are so thankful. And, you know, he said a lot of this is from my congregation that couldn't come. So I want you guys to know that even though you weren't there, you were there. And they thank you for that, for their support, because they truly have a vision, like everybody said, they are trying their best to do God's work. And it's really going to be an awesome thing. And I hope we can go back, because I'd love to take my kids again. I really hope so.
Never had anybody fight over giving testimony.
I want to praise everybody that went on the missions trip. They all did real good. The kids, they jumped right in. They're painting and digging in the dirt. And all the grown-ups, Tom, the coordinator down there, started out with asking who could do what. And like we had Greg, we did excavating, which is real great. And we got there the first morning before the coordinator did and had the old carpet tore out of the home before he got there, and he was trying to figure out what we were going to do all day, and got us all together and we prayed. And then he assigned different teams. We had a deck to build on the back, which Mark took to hold that, did that. And everybody else just pitched in and done the best they could and where they could. And you know, some people think going on a mission trip you're going to be standing around a lot. Well, you don't have to worry about that, because there's always something they can find for you to do. Pick up a little garbage or, you know, anything. And if anybody has a chance to go on a trip, they ought to go on one, maybe not that far away for the ride. And Cindy and John down there, they opened their house to us. Everybody stayed at their house. We had their basement full, which you can see by the first picture, when they were waking up the next morning, the first morning. But they fed us morning, noon, and night. And they could not believe, you know, how much work we got done in the hours that we were there. And like they said, we got the work done early. They ran out of material for us. But we wanted to stay more. We tried to get them to go to the lumberyard and get more material for us so we could work longer. But they didn't. They were just pleased and happy with what we did get done.
That's why it's called the
That was probably about midnight or later. So that was necessary, whether you think so or not. We never counted till we got home. There was 10 kids and 4 adults. They all act like it. Yeah, the adults really didn't count, so. It was, there are the shoes. I don't know, I had a big stirring sermon written out, but Mike stole it all, so. I guess all I got to say is, hopefully you guys have people in your lives like these boys, because when they brought this up, I came up with 1,000 excuses. No, we can't go, it's too far, blah, blah, blah. And they wouldn't let me not go. So I hope there's somebody in your life prodding you to go do what's right, because I won't do it on my own. So their mother, she's done a great job with it. But it was a neat trip. I think there was a good connection made with those people out there. I think they're a good group. Got a lot to do. So hopefully we can get back out there and do some more.
Well, with all this, I've been in Guatemala
excellent for any of the ministry
Here's what John does.
breakdown.
They had a massage chair. They had a bunch of stuff packed back in this one room. It didn't work, so.
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. We got it in there. We plugged it in, and it worked.
It was really fun working with this group. I've been on another missions trip with them down south, and I thought that was a long drive. And then the songs came, and it just went downhill. Yeah, it's really fun to go on something and actually help people and work as you're having fun. On the car ride down there, I wasn't having fun. It was great.
And this was my first missions trip, and I had no idea that it would change my life. And the singing definitely changed my life. Probably gonna be deaf for the rest of my life.
But, yeah, that's one I really have. Thank you.
That's pretty cool. We'll get you, Chase, I forgot. This group, they know how John sings, so they refused to ride the band, and they drove their own vehicle down there, which was a wise thing to do.
It was a really great weekend. I got to go with Jen, my daughter Chelsea, our adopted daughter, and Autumn. And it was a really good experience. It's the first time that we've done anything like this with this church. And, for somebody like me who just sits in front of a computer all day, I didn't really think I would have any skills to bring to the party. On a work crew like this, who were filled with very talented people and hardworking people. But little did I know I was going to learn how to lay laminate flooring. So, and don't ask me if you need help, because I'll pay for somebody to do it for you. But it was neat that we even learned some things. And I can't express enough what Julie mentioned about the kids this age. With as much bad press as kids get these days, and maybe rightfully so in some cases, our kids really worked hard, and they never complained, and they put in the hours just like the adults did. And if we hadn't have had them on this trip, there were a lot of things I think that would not have gotten done. And the crew leader mentioned that we put in 150 man hours that weekend, which he was really impressed with that. I was really impressed with the people and just the heart that was there. And again, what Julie said, they definitely, this family has definitely had a calling. Has had a calling, and for them not only to hear that calling, but then be obedient, was just a thrill to be a part of. And again, with all my family that was there, that was a neat time for us. So definitely want to go back. I was tired and sore, but it was a good tired and sore. Appreciate the church making that connection and allowing us to have that experience.
Yeah, Derek wore out one excavator and they had to bring him another one.
Yeah, I'm fairly new to Destiny, off and on for the past year. And I've always wanted to do this. I'm glad I was drawn to this church and was finally able to do this for everybody. It's a great group to work with, they're very talented. I didn't think I would have anything to do going there, but it's electrical work, and I remember how to do that, so I helped out. I'm just glad I could be there with everybody and help out.
Tom that was the group leader is the head of the district Habitat for Humanity. Now this guy works with volunteer teams constantly. And he was so impressed, and he said, "What giftings don't you have?" And I said, "Well, if we're low on anything, it's electrical." And here, Jim, the next thing I know, he's got the house hooked to a generator and the lights pop on and do the thing. I didn't even know. Now, see, I know Jim, but I didn't know Jim. That's how cool it is to be able to go on a team and really learn who people Go ahead, girl.
I really enjoyed going on this missions trip because I got to spend time with my family and show my mom that I'm a better worker outside Indiana than Missouri. But I really had a fun time because I got to bring my friend along and we really got to experience how it feels to bless someone and see a real meaning of God's work. And I really, really liked seeing how much we got done and just everything coming together in one piece.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's Jesus.
He really blessed us a lot. When he came, we all didn't really think much of it when we heard a speaker was coming, but as soon as he walked in the door, we ran downstairs and told everyone Jesus was here because he looked just like him. But it was a really fun experience, and I really encourage everyone, if you get a chance to go on a missions trip, to go and take your family and just bless someone.
I had a really great time on the trip, but about Jordan, Julie came downstairs and goes, Jesus is here. So all of us kids run upstairs, and we're like, where's he at? And, but I met a lot of people over the mission trip because I don't really know Destiny that much. I go to youth group, but that's about it. And I just had a great experience.
I just have one other thing, and this is to Nate. These kids were working, and they could do more maybe than what we even thought. So we need to get them some jobs to do.
Oh, Lord. You just had to be there. Chase, come on up. Katie, you want to say something?
Taylor. Went to this trip just in hopes of having something change my life. And it definitely did that, plus more. I was downstairs taking a shower when Jesus came in. And downstairs, got out of the shower, got changed and all that, and walked upstairs, and there he was just sitting, like right under the light, right on this bar stool. It's like, wow, what the heck is that? And it really was Jesus. He started giving his testimony on how he spent nights living under a bridge for a month with Wild Bill, I think it was. Yeah. And Wild Bill gave him his mattress, and he slept on the floor, on the ground. And telling him to tell us that just made me think of how grateful we need to be of how much stuff we have. And he ran across America. Started at New York, ended in LA. He said he ran 40 miles a day until the last 100 miles. He ran it in like 2 days or whatever. And he said the last 7 miles he had to have somebody literally like carry him along while he was walking, running, whatever he was doing. And to have that much heart to do something and to come out and give us like a speech on his testimony, it was just really awesome on how he could relate to everybody because he's been in every different boat. He's seen so much more stuff than we have, and we think we've seen a lot. So it just taught me to be thankful for what we have and how much we do, and how much you can have for what you do.
Good job. Am I missing anybody? Who am I pointing to? Derek. Oh, Derek. He didn't want to talk. Come on up here. If you can run an excavator, you can run that microphone. Just hold it right here and it'll treat you good. Sherry Hartman.
I'm Derek. This is my first mission trip. Had no idea what I was getting into, and I was just glad I could go down there and do something I knew something about. I don't want to take all the credit. Andrew deserves a lot of credit. I mean, he was covered in mud the whole first day, completely. I think he was covered more than some of the kids. And Matt was a good help. I mean, the kids helped out for about 10 minutes. They just wanted to get dirty, and then they disappeared. So it was like, and well, I wouldn't say I wore the first one out. I think I broke it.
I was trying to be nice.
I think God had a lot to do with that because if we didn't get that bigger one, we building relationships. I got family. I mean, I'm got even closer with family, and I've known them my whole life. Great buying experience with everybody.
Tell them about the trench being dug and what happened. Why your job was so hard.
This trench, they had open, they started a month before we got down there. There was probably 200 feet of pipe already in the ground, 4 foot deep. They dug it a month before we got down there, and they got bad weather, and they left it open. And the trench had collapsed in areas, the pipe was covered, it wasn't at the right elevations, it was all tangled together. It was all glued together, all one piece. We had to dig it out, lay it up on top of the ground, re-dig the trench, and lay it all back in where it was supposed to be. And I mean, there was probably every bit of a foot of just mud. You'd step in it and sink above your boots. You know, something, I mean, you could sit there and try and dig with a shovel, but you're better off to use your hand. It was so sticky. But, I mean, there was something at work. It probably took us a week, but with the people and help we had, we got it done in 2 days.
I'm not glad I worked behind the fire. My first mission, got to take Keely, who's not here because she's with the Millers, but just to see her in that environment and work, and just wanted to do so much, and get mad when people told her that she couldn't do this or do that, and just kept looking for stuff to do. I don't know if you've noticed, like, the theme. But these kids were just amazing. I mean, each and every one of them. And, you know, the work that we did, there's no way without them. You know, we finished the ramp the other day, and I took Keely and her friend Brett to finish it up, and they were working on it, and they helped us finish it up before the rain got in and everything like that. But I was just, Keely's like, you know, it was my first ramp I got to do besides the work out there and that kind of stuff. And I was telling her, I said, yeah, I said, from here on out, I said, you'll be building ramps the rest of your life. I said, because you started with the mission trip and you started with this, and that's what we're supposed to be doing with these kids, is teach them how to do this stuff so they can do it when we can't, and that they'll continue on and keep teaching. And that was just the main thing I saw that whole weekend. You know, the van ride down, yeah, you just had to be in the van. And then we got down there, and the work and everything just went so smoothly, except the little one. Don't ask me to do it ever again. Because Mark and I were, yeah. It was the first time we'd ever done that, and it was not something I want to do again. But everything that got done, I mean, there's a Tyson. John wanted to do a burnout. But I don't know, it was just so impressive and just so cool for like the first mission trip that we were on to do all the stuff that we did, and you know, to help them start achieving their goals that they have for their vision, you know, and everybody said it, there's a lot more work to do than there is. If you can get on their website, the El Shaddai Children's Home, you'll see an outline of what their vision is. You know, they've got like 5 more houses to build, and you know, it's amazing. You know, and then to be with the people we were with, you know, Andrew and I have been friends forever, and you know, to share that with our daughters, being the same age and together, you know, it's just a totally cool experience. It was good food. Yeah, it was hot. I had something else, and now I thought of food, so I'm distracted. The van ride home seemed like it took forever. There was all kinds of things. We did have trouble with the trailer, but we were able to get off the road, and then the 2 mechanics jumped into high gear, and I think 45 minutes it was back, and we were on the road, and there was the accident where we had to detour, and we thought, oh, we just want to get home, and you know, but it all worked out. No singing. You know, as we were going down, we started the singing. I was downloading songs, but it could only be in like a 4G area. So we were coming up with songs to sing, and